Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to see about foundations and importance of English language teaching in India, which comes under Pedagogy of English 2. Okay, so what is the history of English language in India? You have so many idea about how English language has come into our country. So English language was brought into our country by the British people, and which was brought for the major purpose of trade. Okay, so they started so many schools for developing their religion in our country. So what is the status of English before independence and after independence? So before independence, English language was considered as the queen of language. Queen of language means it is the superior among all the languages in the world. So before independence, English language was considered as the queen of language in our country. And medium of instructions in schools were English. So before independence, the medium of instructions were English because all the schools were conducted by the British people. Okay, and British people and British government. So and the interaction among the schools were in English, and native speakers of English language was brought into the schools. So in the schools, the teachers who were teaching English were native English speakers. Native English speakers means the people from British countries. So they taught English language for our students. Why? Because they need Indians who can help them in trade and other purpose. So this was the status of English before independence. And after independence, there was a huge change in our country, and Hindi became the official language of our country, and English has become the second language of our country. And there was lots of debate. Of should English be the medium of instruction, and should English be a compulsory subject, and when should English language be introduced in schools. So there was a debate on these headings among the people. Okay, so next we are going to see about nature of English language. And nature of English language, nature or characteristics of English language, and I have selected a few topics which are considered as nature of English language. Okay, so the first one is language is learned. So language is a kind of behavioral aspect, and it cannot be learned automatically. So it has some process in it. So we have to learn language with some process and practices. So language cannot be learned automatically. So you have to put some effort, and you have to try to learn from somebody, or you have to imitate somebody. So you can see the newborn babies. So the newborn babies will not talk all of a sudden. So they start imitating their parents. So they start imitating their lip movement or lip movement. So after all those process only, they are able to speak some good and correct words. So language cannot be learned automatically. So it has some process in it. So we have to follow the process. So language is learned. Learn means you have to learn it. So language will not come to you. You have to learn the language. Okay, the next one is language is a system. So our human body contains lots of systems like heart, lungs, and so many systems are in our body. So likewise, language contains lots of systems. Lots of systems means language is classified into words and sounds and sentences, structures, so many things. So language is a system. Language is a system. And language is a system of system. So when you say language is a system of system, I told you, language contains sounds, words, sentences. So in sound we have vowel sound and consonant sound. Okay, in sound we have vowel sound and consonant sound. In structures we have sentence patterns like subject, verb, object, subject, verb, indirect object, direct object. So many sentence patterns are there. So that's why it is called as system of systems. So when you take phonology, when you take phonetics or phonology, so in phonetics we have vowel sound, consonant sound, diphthongs, so many things. So it is a system which contains another subsystem, So language is called as a system of systems. Okay, next is language is a system of symbols. So language can only provided by symbols. For example, alphabet. So our English alphabets are symbols. So in English we have phonetics. So phonetic transcriptions are there. Phonetic transcription. So those transcription symbols. So those transcription symbols are also called as international phonetic symbols. So we are writing A, B, C, D, no. So those are all English alphabets. So English alphabets, so that is a symbol, and A is a symbol, B is a symbol. So we don't know who introduced those symbols, but it is a symbol. It is a symbol. And the next one is language is unique. Language is unique means every language, you take Tamil, English, and other Chinese, other languages, Malayalam, Telugu, whatever it is. So every language is unique in its own way. You cannot say that English and Tamil are the same language, which follows the same pattern. So for example, in English we have 26 alphabets, and in Tamil we have 256 something. Okay, so it is unique. So English is English and Tamil is Tamil, so both of them cannot be taken together. Okay, and then language is a skill subject. Language is a skill subject, which means we have listening skill, reading skill, writing skill, and so many skills in English language. So for attaining those skills, you need to do some practices. You need to do some practices and drills. So it is a skill subject which requires lots and lots of practice. Okay, and then language is for communication. So we learn language for the means of communication. So only using the language you can communicate with others. So without language we cannot express our own feelings, our own thoughts, our own emotions, etc. So language is a means of communication. So these are some natures and characteristics of English language. And language is learned. Language is a system. Language is a system of systems, and language is a system of symbol, and language is unique. Language is a skill subject. Language is for communication. And another thing is English language is considered as a first language, second language, and foreign language. So when you say English as a first language, it is nothing but English spoken by the British people or native English spoken people. So that's why it is called as English as a first language. For us, English is not the first language. English is a second language for us. But for the people from England or America, English is called as the first language for them. But for us, English is a second language because our mother tongue is our first language and the second language is English. And English as a foreign language means in some countries people will be learning their mother tongue as a first language and another language as a second language, and they will be learning English as the third language for them. So when they are learning English as a third language for them, it is called as the foreign language. Okay, so this is some information about foundations and importance of English language teaching. You had an idea about the nature of English language and what is English as a first language, English as a second language, and also you have learned something about status of English before independence and after independence. So we will see some other informations in the next video. Thank you.